Hi everybody, it's been a while, but I'm back and I've been working on that thing, which has been the AFV Club M88A1 Armored Recovery Vehicle, which, as most of us know, was involved in the recent loss of life in Lithuania of 4 of our wonderful armed servicemen. So prayers for them and their families, but I'm going to continue this build in spite of that. In fact, in honor of that. And if anybody knows the markings of their vehicle, I would like to put those markings on this vehicle. I was building it for my neighbor who's like an E6 or 7 or 8 or something over here. He's a major, or was a major in the Army, and he ran these things. He had them in his command. He had 2 of these. And that's what I was building it for first. And then when the tragedy struck, I wanted to shift that to that vehicle in honor of those poor guys that had to have happen what happened to them, which had to be horrible. So anyway, I'm going to show you what's going on with where we're at in this AFV Club build, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. The most unusual clamp I have ever devised, plus 11 parts to make that, plus all that to color that. Stand by. We'll be back to show you how. Bye. Okay, first of all, you can see a step 4, which is completed. Where's my pointer? There it is. It has 11 parts in this pulley system here. This goes on the end of the boom. And over here you can see the boom. And there's all those 11 parts assembled and combined. Now, where do you think B13, I can't point, and B13, do they ever get glued together in there? I could not find a place. Now, without gluing everything together, and if you glue everything together, it won't rotate like it does now. As you can see, whoop, everything moves. They all move, but I have to keep them squeezed together because you can pull out either side. We don't want that to happen. Okay, so that got done. And prior to that and during that, you can see these little footsteps that go up the boom. Well, yeah, I've broke off about 4 of them. So I took a staple and bent it as best as I could, and my pin vise and 1mm drills, and drilled out the holes where those were already cast in plastic. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. What's up back here? I want to show them that. And put new pin vices in, or put new ladder steps in. There's about 4 of them. The bottom one's the best one I did out of all of them. You can see how junky they look, but stand back a little bit, and yeah, you don't notice that. So there you go. Anyway, next up of what we've been done. We got the blade done, 5, and I'll show you that in a minute because I got to show you how I clamped the 6A first. 5A was the boom and gluing the booms in. I think I covered that already, and I had to break those off. These would not work going into those to make it rotate. I'll show you in a second. And then the front end went on here nicely, and I got the rope in with a little bit, and the B49, the tiniest part you've ever seen in your life, but I didn't lose it. Okay, here's what I'm most proud of. Step 6. Look at all these parts we got on here. Woo! The last thing I just did was this chain. And if you have never seen small parts, A58 and B48, there's little pins that hold the chain to the front of the chassis down here. OMG. You can see A58 right there. And the little B parts, yeah, you can see them there. One of them anyway. That was up under that thing that's being clamped. And I'll show you that in a second. Next. So that chain took me, I don't know, God, how many days to not only paint. I'm going to show you that now. Here's what it was painted with. Mr. Mr. Metal Primer R. And then one of the colors in the camo scheme is number 4 out of 6. I used 6 colors in this camo scheme. You can see them all back there. There's the other 5 colors. And I'm not going to go through that because it'll bore you. And then I used some oil brush or Starship Filth on it. And some Viejo, this is what the last color I was waiting for, Natural Steel, to get her. And it finally got her today, and so yesterday. And I could get in here and get busy on that chain. Which, looks like that. It was just a brass, copper, whatever. Maybe brass chain. And so now it's got natural steel and all those colors on it and Starship Filth. And it looks like a chain that you see hanging on a M88. So now let me tell you about the 66B. 6B was this last part of the exhaust fan or whatever. And it's got an exclamation point on it saying, be careful. And you're right, be careful, because those little pieces, where are they? Back up. Vegging here. Okay. B19. Oh, come on, Scotty. You're making the best video in the world. The B19 is a little sliver. And where'd my pointer go again? Damn it. And on each side, B19 on this big piece. And that big piece is right there. The B19s, these little guys are on the side here. I'm going to zoom right in to show you how tiny and thin that is. And now what the glue is done to the paint. But don't worry, it'll be painted over. And there's the other side. And that side actually broke off. And I had to repaint. Not repaint. Glued on in 2 pieces. So when I got it on there, it did not want to sit right. So I figured out if I put some pressure on the left side, and I did that by using a pair of tweezers and my cut-off foot aircraft pilot glue stand, and I'll show you what I did here. Pull that off, and there's the tweezers, and now I can turn this and show you what's going on here. I'm going to have to lift it up. Now you can see what's happening. There's those 2 tiny little parts I had to put in up there. One of them's so far up in there you can't see it. That's why I had to put it on before I did this back flap here. Let me zoom out. And holy shit, pardon my French, it was crazy. the parts on this thing are so small. So what I'm at now is this oxygen tank. And you can see right here, it's built. And I just painted, but I need to hit it again because you can still see the seams. And that's only because they were so big. I didn't want to putty them, so I'm going to paint it. And now I've got this A38, which I just painted in steel tonight. It's on that sprue right there. I'm not going to bother showing you. And then I'm going to hit it with some green because it's supposed to be an oxygen tank. And then we'll move on to 6C, I named it. This is all step 6, for God's sake, but I had to break it up into parts. So 6C, those are already done. But I've got these other lights to do here. I've already got these little lights on the red and... Whoop, come here. The silver and red lights, they're already done right there, as you can see. Boop. That one and that one. And don't worry, that's going to paint out. Where all that glue went to try to get that piece down. That's going to paint out. And then look at that chain, man. That's looking good. It needs a little bit more weathering on that chain. And then there'll be sand and shit, all kinds of stuff I'll put up in here. But, where was that? Oh, yeah. I got these 2 headlights and these headlight covers right here. Holy crap. They're so tiny. And I got to show them to you. And any advice would be appreciated. B36. Where's 36? I'll get it upside down. There we go. 36. There we go. Oh, there's 34. That's another small. There you go. See, cut off those 2 big tabs on the side of it. Which one is it? Right there. And the stuff in between. No. And holy cow. That some bitch is so small. Look how big my finger is. It's gonna be tough cutting it out. But anyway, that's where we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go. We gotta get there, so that's next. Stay tuned. Bye.